Go. Like mine. You got a beard, mama.
Yes, they don't like you touching this on top. So basically, make a long story short, how you doing? This is Master 4, and I'm here to teach you about the kickdown of the angels. So in 1914 and 1913, Jesus Christ became okay. When Jesus Christ became king in heaven, his first thing that he did, I don't know, he must have done others, but from what I know, the first thing Jesus Christ did was he kicked down Satan and his demons, okay? The dragon. Kicked them down. It says it in Revelations, okay? So you can't really say he never got kicked down. So he basically got kicked down in 1913 to 1914, late 1913. He got kicked down, okay, with his demons. When he got kicked down, the very first thing that Satan did, because he was an angel in heaven. He was a good angel in the beginning, but then he turned evil, okay? He was able to get all these angels in heaven, 1/3 of them to be on his side. So basically he had 1/3 of these angels on his side, and they backed him up. So it's kind of like if you have somebody who's going to back you up, right? So to make a long story short, these angels, okay, who are now, that got kicked down, who are now the aliens, who are now the Sasquatch, who are now the chupacabra, all that crap. That's what they are, okay? Okay, they're aliens, they're everything like that. There's no such thing as these entities being anything else. Okay, they're not good. They're not your grandfather. They're not your grandmother. Okay, ghosts, all that. Those are the angels that got kicked down in 1913, late 1913. Okay, so what happened was in 1913 when they got kicked down, these angels, they decided to become. Well, they were demons, so they got kicked down from heaven. The thing is that World War I started in 1914. Hey, how you doing? World War I started in 1914. That was the very first World War. In 1914, the reason why that war had to happen was to show dominance on the earth. Okay, so the United States of America, okay, was connected to England. England connected to Italy in different forms, right? So they had to dominate world power. So it's kind of like whenever you have 4 or 5 people in a house, right? And the father moves out, and you have siblings. Let's just say the father moves out, right? The mother, siblings, okay? These siblings then they fight with each other, and then they try to see who's the head of the house, right? So that's what's going on, okay? So in 1914, after the demons got kicked down, they decided to make one power greater than the other. Hitler again was trying to go wipe out, do thing, and that's what made the World War II so horrible. But in the end, we know that the United States of America won World War I. So the United States of America won. They actually won World War I with England and France, and they took over. Okay. The problem here is that now in 1914, after World War I to 1918, the United States made a transformation into becoming the greatest world power that you've ever seen. The greatest world power. And of course, I live here, so I don't mind. People come here to work. So the United States is very, very powerful. Okay. So what happened here was that these demons that got kicked down, they cannot go back to heaven. So since they cannot go back to heaven, what do they do? What do they do? Stay down here, and now this is their kingdom. Okay, so the kingdom here, okay, and that's what I'm trying to get at, is that the kingdom here belongs to the kingdom here belongs to the demons. It belongs to Satan. He got kicked down to earth. That's basically what the Bible says. So if you look at it from that perspective, you know that the Satan and his demons rule earth. Okay, so you're gonna have ghosts, you're gonna have UFOs, chupacabras, all that stuff. You're gonna have so many bad things going on that I can't even talk about. The problem here is that, and which is good because I don't even want to go there. I just want to tell you that the world as we speak is evil. The things that go on is not really that great. And so the point is that from 1914 on, all the way till now, you better bet your butt that it's already been created. It's already has its everything it needs. So from the time they got kicked down to now, through music, through everything, through the industry, every single thing, the countries, every single thing has already been prepared for basically the coming of Christ. So when Jesus Christ comes, he's going to fight against the earth. He's going to fight against when Jesus Christ comes, he is going to, it says, go against the kingdoms of the earth, right? So Jesus has to do that. Once Jesus does that, hello, how you doing? The earth will be transformed back into a paradise. Now, what it means by paradise is that if you're, so what it's trying to say that if your parents were to pass away, or if you have a loved one that passes away, or something bad happens, okay? It's trying to say, what the Bible's trying to say is that they don't go straight to heaven. It says that they will live again on earth in a paradise, and they will be very happy. And there's going to be, just like in the very beginning, they're going to look young again. You know, don't you want them to look young, right? And they're going to be happy, and you're going to be here, and you're going to be happy. And so the whole point is that in the paradise on earth that happens in the future, this is what many religions do believe, is that when the paradise comes, it'll be transformed into a beautiful paradise, right? You will live forever. You will never die. Your parents, everybody you know will live forever. Everybody will be happy and they'll live forever. And the reason why is because it'll be a new government. So back to what I was saying about the angels and the demons, okay? The angels in heaven in the very beginning were all united. There was no demons. There was nothing bad. Nothing was evil, okay? Just to let y'all know, nothing was really evil. In the very beginning, everything was perfect, okay? Then came the fallen angels. So what happened was Satan, right? Satan the devil, I know y'all know who that is. He basically decided to become evil. And when he did, he brought down 1/3 of the heavens, 1/3 of the stars. So everybody liked Satan. The Bible says that he was beautiful. He was shiny. It says that he was the most gorgeous in the heavens. And he had this illumination on him that basically made you want to like him, you know? And so that's what happens. So the angels don't come down here. So really they don't have, angels from heaven don't have business down here like that. Get it? You can have guardian angels, but your guardian angels aren't really the angels from heaven. It's sad, but the guardian angels around you, or the ones that also help you, a lot of those are demons. And a lot of those are demons. We gotta watch. Oh! There's a bee outside, a big bee. There's a bee outside.
We ran so fast.
Yes, they are devils. Very smart. Great Escape 7735. You are correct. The fallen angels are devils. They are many devils. They are demons. They have fell. They were good at one time. They were very good. They were very nice. They had good hearts, but they became evil. They became very evil. And so now they're on earth, and what do? They act like they're ghosts. They act like they're your mom and your dad that passed away, but they're not. Because people found out that at night or whatever, they start getting harmed by these demons. And they say, why would my mom scratch me in the back? Or, why would my dead relative scare me like this? Because they're really demons. They're not ghosts. Because they're really the aliens that harm people. They're really demons. Whoa. Get it. God dang. That's like 55 misses. Hold on.
You do it then, bro.
Hold on. Look, I messed up on this.
It's flying too fast.
There's a huge bee wasp thing that's trying to take us out. Hold on.
Here.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Where is it at? It was right here.
On the roof.
And it just made us run all the way down here. It was not. Okay. It went behind the house.
It flew up on the roof. Coming back though. It always does that.
Yes, bad energies can. Bad energies do. Yes. Because again, I also say this. We are energy capsules. We harvest energy too. Because what does the Bible say? We are made in the image of God. So we are like mini gods, right? We are mini gods. I'm a mini god walking around. Can I create? Yes, I can create. I can have kids. God creates. So the whole problem is, the whole situation is, we don't know our full capacity of energy. So what do? We harvest bad energy by accident. Right? You go to the cemetery, oops, I just brought home a bad energy. It doesn't mean you did it on purpose. What it means is we don't know how to harvest it. And what happens is we accidentally pass it on to our friends and family and they get sick. So yeah, in general, my whole point of this whole thing is that we are energetic beings that have power, so much power. I can tell you stories and stories and stories. I can tell everybody stories about people that actually cured themselves, people that actually got better just thinking it. And you know, do the governments and the kingdoms and the earth and all these people want you to know this? No, because of course we know that the system that we're in obviously wants it to keep going the way it's going. They don't want change. And sooner or later, change will come. Yes, there is no real separation from anything. Correct. We are all united in an energetic form, and that's why usually they say, and I'm serious, you should check it out. Usually on Saturday and Sunday on the weekends, there's more energy frequency. Why? Why do people have more energy on the weekend? Even if you don't work, you could feel this energy. And the reason why you feel this energy is because people all around you are happy. They're going to go out. They're going to have a great time. It's Saturday. So you could feel that energy. That energy rubs off on you. You see? I mean, I'm not even off on the weekends. And it's a Saturday. I actually work on Saturday. There's a Saturday and I feel like, man, I got to do something today. I feel so energized. So the whole point is that it's just like, it's weird. It really is. But the whole point of this is to let you know that in heaven, there was no bad angels. One angel turned bad. His name was Satan the devil. He got kicked down in 1914 and brought half his buddies, or all his buddies, which is 1/3 of the heavens. When he came down, they decided to make ghosts, aliens, Sasquatches, and everything else. So that's the whole point. Okay? And the whole point is they're not allowed to go back to heaven. Heaven's been closed. Okay? Heaven's been closed. The angels down here are really angels. And yes, there are some angels that have been kicked down that are a little nicer. They're not as evil, but they still got kicked down, okay? Kind of like somebody who's in prison. Are there people in prison for murder? Yes. Are there people in prison for stealing? Yes. Which one did worse? If you had to say, which one in prison did worse? The murder one or the stealing one? Well, obviously the murder one, right? Why are they both in prison though? Because they both did wrong. So some demons down here aren't that, I mean, they really didn't do that bad. Correct? Remember, there's only black and white. That's what they say in the Bible. There's a line. You're either on this side or this side. You can't be in the middle. You're either on the left or the right. You'll either be destroyed in Armageddon or you live. But yes, also energy, yes. She was laid back on thinking about, don't know who that is. So, basically, let me see here. Hold on one second. I don't know any of this. Okay, how to use it from this channel. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, somebody just made a horrible comment. I don't know if they're talking about you or somebody else, but they said that she is laid down on the couch. Was I on mute there, y'all? Also, energy can't be destroyed into nothing. Exactly. Energy can only be harvested. Energy can only be harvested. So if you're angry and you're mad, right? And you go hit a wall, your energy just went into that wall. Correct? In that wall that you hit, you might have made a crack. Right? But whatever the case is, that energy stays there. It does. You know, it stays there. Just like when there's a murder in a house, that energy stays there. The man or a woman, whatever the case is in that house, that bad energy stays there. And that right there, my friend, is what causes so much negative energy. So how do you clear out negative energy? Does anybody know how to clear out negative energy? How do you make a place back to normal? Great Escapes, do you know how to make a place back to normal? Thank you, thank you. So how do you make a place back to normal? A lot of people say use what's that thing called? Does anybody know what that thing is called that they spray and they use it? They use a spray in the house. Not the spray, the smoke. Is it called sage? I think it's called sage. They burn it and then whatever. Yes, yes, sage. Yeah. So they basically do sage, and I don't know what it is about sage. They said there's positive ions in it, or proteins or something, and it helps get that negative energy, and it helps kind of like move it out, right? But just like you said, Great Escapes, you cannot get rid of it, right? You can move it on, you can move it out, you can probably even try to transform that negative energy into what? Positive energy. Because we never said that negative energy can't become positive, right? So you could be mad one day, the next day you're happy. What happened? That negative energy now became positive. You see, so yes, that's the number one thing. But back to what I was saying, this is kind of short because I have to go, but I was going to let y'all know, please subscribe. And my next video will be talking about other things that have to do with the sun and earth and what I found out about nature, okay, and other countries out there. These people are healthy as hell, and a lot of them don't even wear shoes because what they're getting, that frequency from the ground, they're getting that energy. It's just crazy, the stuff that's out there. Yes, it's frequency, huge frequency. Yeah, so exactly. So the sage can actually turn positive. It could stay the same, or it could turn positive and then go back to negative. So it's really, really, I'm doing fine, Armin. You doing okay? My other daughter was doing, well, I had asked my other daughter to see if she wanted to talk on here, and she said later on today. So they were talking about, I don't know, they're talking about the fireworks, 4th of July, which I actually went to this fireworks show, but it was the same as usual, you know. It wasn't nothing too big. But I asked everybody, I said, do you know when America turned independent? And do y'all know when America turned independent? It was crazy. Most people know now. They do. 1776. I keep trying to say it. They fought off the English, and they were able to make United States an independent country. The English were the redcoats, remember? Yeah, exactly. I know they're not independent, but you know, in a sense, the 1776 is when they claimed to be independent. But yeah, it's not independent now. It actually changed. Remember, it changed. It changed in 1913 whenever they got bought out. Exactly, it did. It changed. The United States changed. I can't believe it, because in 1890, remember, they started to become the banking system took over. A lot of people know this. Great Escape knows a lot. That in 1776 they thought they were free. I mean, you know. But as time went on, now they're pretty much owned by corporations. So you definitely have that right. And again, everything is tied to the fallen angels. Everything is tied. Everything is tied. You're not gonna have true happiness unless you know the truth. That's just how it is. But I gotta go. It was under 20 minutes. I wanted to make this. I'll see you later. Please subscribe later on today. I am going to talk about the sun and the frequencies and stuff like that. All right. Peace out. Y'all were really cool talking to. Bye. Hey, I didn't know that I talk really loud. Do I talk really loud? Okay, I'm talking like because people out there kind of like poke their heads out and the thing. It's